This week, the Union starts a brave new campaign where they live off the land by raping and pillaging. Hello and welcome to Civil War in Hindsight. I'm Lieutenant Tommy. With me, as always, is Prospector Johnny. And Johnny, this is kind of a quiet week this week. Less fighting, more politics than anything else. But we'll jump right into it. It's going to open up on July 18th with General Pope announcing that his Army of Virginia, that's the Union Army of Virginia, not to be confused with Lee's Northern Army of Virginia.
Now, should we change them to the Union Army of West Virginia?
This really should be like the Army of. Again, we're missing it. West Virginia's stupid name is West Virginia instead of Kanawha, and the Army of Virginia should be the Army of Kanawha, or at least the Shenandoah Valley. But in any case, his Army of Virginia is going to.
So we're just going to keep confusing.
We're going to keep confusing people. Okay. Yeah, we're going with that. He's going to say, and I quote, "The army is going to subsist upon the country in which their operations are carried out." So instead of having these big long supply trains depending upon them from being driven up from the north down to where his army is operating, his army is just going to operate as much as they can by foraging from the community, which means he is going to go house to house,
pillaging,
raping and pillaging, and taking what he needs. So.
Hopefully just pillaging.
Yeah,
I mean, come on. History has shown
that that's not.
It's oftentimes it's hand in hand. Those two.
Same. Additionally, he is doubting or doubling down on his announcement that the citizens would be held responsible for damage to his army by saying that he would be compelling those citizens to fix anything that they break. So if a band of Confederate raiders destroys a railroad line, he is going to go to that city or the nearest city, take the civilians, and force them to fix it. So,
wow. Okay, I mean, it's holding somebody responsible.
Not the people who are doing it, but okay.
Nobody who had anything to do with it. But,
I guess his hope here is that maybe it would encourage the citizens to turn on said raiders, but I think it might...
Well, yeah, to be less welcoming to them at least, and say, no, don't set up around here, because if you mess some stuff up, then that's our ass, not yours. You're just going to run away and go somewhere else next. So
yeah.
I mean, it's
something.
It's a dick move, but it might work.
We'll see how it plays out. On the 19th, Lincoln is going to name John S. Phelps of Missouri the military governor of Arkansas, which is odd because I wasn't aware that we had actually taken Arkansas. Like, we had one battle in Arkansas, and I guess now we're...
Is it just like maybe it's just preemptive, like, or we're just gonna start trying to claim it and then see if anybody gives us pushback.
Yeah, I think we're trying to claim it because, like, we had that one battle down there, and then it didn't seem like there's much of a resistance left. So maybe.
Yeah, so it's just saying, hey, we'll go ahead and say we have it. If you guys want to fight back, fine, we'll take it legit, but. For now,
we'll see what happens.
Well, assume you surrendered it, and we own you now, or whatever the case is here. I guess we just occupy them.
Yep.
We don't get to own them.
Morgan's Raiders will engage in a skirmish with federal troops near Paris, Kentucky, and I guess that's one city that's just not putting up with Morgan's shit. Like, it's not like a lot of the other cities were like, all right, just don't burn everything, please.
Yeah, they're just. It's because he's going to a bunch of cities that have civilians they're trying to defend. All the good soldiers have joined up and they're fighting.
Yeah, they're actively fighting.
The war where the war's taking place.
Yeah,
not two states north of where the war's taking place.
So but the citizens of Paris have said, no, we're not having this shit, and they're fighting back. So,
all right, let's go, Paris.
Yeah, let's go. A federal expedition near Beaver Dam Station in Virginia is going to destroy a bunch of military stores of the Confederates. So, good on them, burning up ammunition, guns, food, all that stuff of military value.
Well, and all the stuff that the Confederate has such an excess of anyway. They probably won't miss that.
Probably won't miss any of that. During the 20th, minor skirmishing will continue near Greenville and Taborville, Missouri, while Confederates in Gaines Landing, Arkansas, don't seem too happy with the Union military occupation, and there's a little bit of a skirmish that comes around. So the whole, like, fight us about it? Well, they're okay. They say yes. No, they don't, like ultimately it's a skirmish and not... I mean, like, no land changes hands or anything, but shots are fired. So, I guess there's that.
They at least wanted to let everybody know that they were upset that they were there, right? Like that's kind of we're displeased, pow pow, and then
run away.
But not displeased enough to die.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Just,
no.
Let's take it easy.
Confederates are going to capture a few pickets near Nashville on the 21st, while other dirty rebels are going to burn bridges on the Chattanooga Road. It appears that the Confederate forces are going to be moving towards Chattanooga, Tennessee. So Tennessee looks like it might become a hotbed again. It really hasn't calmed down a lot, but it looks like it's going to become another hotbed. So we'll.
They've been having a rough go at it. Now they're getting bridges burned and
if you're just an average citizen of Chattanooga, I mean not Chattanooga, but of Tennessee,
just trying to chill.
Yeah, if you're just trying to chill, it is not a place to chill right now because there's been some Shiloh, with Nashville, all those. There's been some significant fighting going on, and it seems like it's going to continue. Lincoln is going to surprise his cabinet.
Now, it's always been good advice, but especially right now, if you're in Tennessee and can get out, do it.
Go ahead and get out.
That advice will stay
a while.
Relevant for a while.
Forever. Lincoln is going to surprise his cabinet at a meeting on the 22nd where he presents his first draft of what he's calling his Emancipation Proclamation. It is a twofold proclamation that first, by January 1st of 1863, he wants all slaves in rebelling states to be free. Not sure.
What's with the caveats that he keeps putting in there?
Yeah, of rebelling states.
Like all the slaves except for the ones in the couple of states that remain loyal to us that still have them.
Yeah, that's still legal there.
Like, does he think it's going to go over well with the South when we reunite the Union that there's like 2 states that are allowed to have slaves, but they're not?
Yeah. Well,
like, what's the long play here?
Well, so first, my whole comment to it is like, okay, you can make any proclamation you want in the states of rebellion, but they're in rebellion, so I don't think they give a shit what you have to say. No. That's number one. No,
they literally made their own government.
Yes.
And elected their own dictator who will tell them what they are and are not allowed to do. They're not going to listen to some other dictator.
Yes. Now, his second point here is he does support the gradual compensation and emancipation for slaves in states not in rebellion, but it's gradual. It's on their own accord, that being the state's own accord, and then they will be compensated for said emancipation. That's what he's pushing his government to agree to. So I highly doubt
the government's going to buy the freedom of the slaves in
I highly doubt any of that's
states
gonna
where it's still legal. Do anything now? But that was they'll pay for the slaves, but just when they're ready.
Yeah, gradually. Yeah. When those states are like
they're done,
good.
just.
It's not like there's not a hard deadline like all slaves have to be freed by this point.
No, I'm looking to retire in 20 years, so I'm just going to hold on to my slaves for that amount of time.
Yeah, it's gradual.
Keep running my farm.
It's like kind of like an at-will thing. Like
then get a retirement fund.
Yeah.
That's okay. Well, that's useless.
Secretary of State,
Thanks,
it is. Secretary of State Seward is going to suggest to Lincoln that maybe he holds off on announcing this whole Emancipation Proclamation, at least until the Union has a significant victory underneath its belt, to put some force behind it. Because right now the South is like, make us, and we haven't really done a whole lot to justify us saying do it. So I mean.
Well, I don't know.
We've had some
that. I mean, we've obliterated their navy.
Well, okay, we have done that. We've got
taken all sorts of territory.
Mississippi
We're
is
slowly surrounding them. They are nearly out of supply. I assume supplies and food and morale and everything else. Like it's, we've done some stuff.
Well, we want another.
We might just be stepping on toes, but we're.
They want a decapitation or at least a de-arming or something before announcing it. And Lincoln says, we would probably hold off a little bit on this. It appears Morgan's Raiders out in Kentucky are going to go ahead and be over because they're going to move their forces to Livingston, Tennessee, and arrive in Livingston. It seems like his raid was stopped there at Paris, and he decided they're fighting back, and I don't want anything to do with that right now.
Oh, that wasn't easy. I'm going to go back home.
So he's going back home. But not before one of his telegraph operators had begun basically Morgan puts a telegraph operator behind enemy lines that intercepts all the Union dispatches and then immediately relays them to the Confederate Army. So good on him there, I guess, but maybe want to find that guy and hang him for treason.
Yeah, we might want to get some folks on that. Please. That sounds like it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's not going to help us win this
war.
war.
The last 12 days, anything that the Union Army has put in telegraph has pretty much been caught.
Joke's on the South, because everything that the Union Army has been doing has just been saying, we don't want to do anything. We're just going to sit here and wait for more troops to come.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And Johnny, this very short week is going to be filled with mostly minor skirmishing. It's going to end on the 23rd and 24th when General Pope is going to continue to double down on his, dictatorish tendencies by demanding that every adult male take the oath to the Union. And if they refuse to take an oath to the Union, they're going to be deported south of his lines. And if they are found a second time, they will be arrested and tried as spies. So that means,
Now, these are his army men that he is demanding take this pledge?
These are
no, this is
just civilians, normal
folks who have nothing to do with it. He wants them to pledge that
they're loyal to the Union. If they say
loyalty to the Union, and if they don't,
he's kicking them,
uprooting them.
Yeah, uprooting them.
Their home's gone. They don't have a home anymore.
That's gone.
Shipping them south. And then if he happens to come across him, if he ever gets off his ass and decides to invade the South, if they find them again,
they're spies. Yeah, they're gonna be arrested
as spies.
Tried as spies, which typically means good old fashioned firing squad or hanging. So
yeah.
We'll see how this plays out. That's it for this week in Civil War in Hindsight. If you enjoy Civil War in Hindsight, check out Historic Hindsight. We talk about all kinds of fun things like secret government cheese bunkers and how we took an ex-Confederate terrorist and buried him underneath the road so that he will forever be ran over by cars.